Ready?
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Perfect.
Was it karate chop? What?
Yeah, I've been thinking about Craig a lot. So here we are.
Let's do it again. You're right.
The fuck?
What is that? You get. What is that?
I don't know. I've never seen paper. I've never seen paper try to like karate chop
Jesus,
a rock.
man. You know what? I win. Just by default. I'll give you 2 chances. So.
Over on the air?
You screwed it up. All right. We're going to get right into it. Before we introduce our special guests.
That was legit paper.
No, it wasn't.
Asian paper.
Opener. Right? What is your most trivial problem right now?
Oh, this is me?
We'll let our guest here, Ryan.
Yeah.
What's your most trivial problem right now?
I don't know how trivial it is, but I've gone from being an actual teacher to 100% motivator / teacher. You know, especially in math where everything is all sequential, you know, keeping the kids up to speed and saying, hey, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. You know, because if kiddo screws up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's trash. So I become like Mr. Motivational.
Well, you kind of have to. You got math.
You know, but the thing is, I mean, with you guys, history, like if somebody screws up and says, hey, I don't understand Civil War, and, you know, what's so civil about war anyway?
Yeah.
You know.
And make up a story and they'll just go with it, yeah.
You know, like, it's okay. Hey, we got another war to come to.
Yeah.
Cool. But in math, if you forget how to multiply one day and you're like, well, then I become Mr. Motivational. So it's
You got to be almost like a magician. Do magic tricks.
well,
Do you do any tricks?
mathematician.
No,
Yeah.
that's where it came from.
There you go.
I get it. I
So,
get it.
It's not so trivial, but it is.
But it is.
It's a pain.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. That's why I'm teaching math.
Yeah, there you go.
That was my favorite subject.
You know
See,
what?
history was mine.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. No, seriously.
Really?
Yes.
I was
love
good at
history.
math.
Yeah.
I
And
love
I like
history.
it.
Yeah.
I love history. I love learning
That's
about it. I
interesting.
thought
So-
it was super interesting.
So what?
So I don't know if I actually mentioned before, but I actually had him for 2 years in high school. And like, yeah, I loved him. Yeah, he's one of the 2 reasons why I became a teacher. The other one is a little more controversial. Insert
Which is?
these
You
Scotty
need better
Fulton.
reasons,
Scotty,
bro.
Yeah,
You
Scotty.
need better reasons.
Scotty was more like the banter of all the kids. And even though you had that too, you were more like organized and just like you said. So I don't remember about the motivation part. I just remember I think I just love math. So I would like constantly be showing up and bothering you about problems. And I just always been like that.
So while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and introduce our guest here?
Oh, it's a great idea. Well, so this is the one and only Ryan Jeffries.
Wow.
We're a fan of his, and apparently he's a fan of ours. Isn't that crazy?
That's good. We actually get to meet one of them.
Yeah. You get
The
to meet
other-
a fan.
There's 2 of them. You're one of them.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty special for us.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So excited.
we're here. The day is here.
We made it.
The day is here. Let me go ahead and switch it back to you, Nick. What is your most trivial problem right now?
So the most trivial problem. So he was kind of talking about history. It's our dog and pony show, right? So I kind of see the stage, our classroom is like we're almost like stand-up comedians. We're almost like stand-up comedians just without the whole comedy show. But we're putting on a show every day.
Yeah,
We have to
somebody can
keep
juggle.
It's
them.
very theatrical.
We have to find ways to keep them in. And I remember first year, I feel like things changed, of course, with COVID, and then after COVID, everybody had Chromebooks. And that first year, I swear, when we had kids back from COVID, was like my best year teaching ever, just solid. Then the last 2 years since then, it's like pulling teeth trying to bring the crowd in.
You know
So
what?
I'm thinking, damn, I'm just getting old. I'm getting terrible.
I'm gonna
you know?
agree with you. On
Should I
that,
switch
too.
to math?
Is there any openings in math?
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, I
'Cause
don't mess with
at least
that.
with us, we can tell stories and, kind of take historical figures and compare them to like some kind of
Yeah.
cartoon character or
Math
whatever.
is like the hardest subject to
but
teach.
math
you
is
get
like,
history.
this is math,
Yeah.
and that's it. History, this is what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can also add like perspectives, different points of
Oh,
view.
you guys don't get the question of when will I ever use this again?
Oh, all the time.
Oh,
Actually, I was going to ask you that right now.
my
but
God.
Yeah.
When am I ever use math analysis again? I gotta name it.
Actually,
I tell kids all the time, 95% of the stuff you learn in high school, you will never use again.
amen.
Worse off, 90% of what you learn in college and pay for, you will never use again. Like,
So what is it that we get out of math? And I always say it's not so much the Pythagorean theorem. I don't even know if I said that right.
You did, even though you didn't.
But it's more about the skills, like problem solving. And that's what I'm like trying to get. Like, you need math because you need to learn how to take a problem, break it apart, and understand the path, the process, whatever.
There's rules.
Trying to like make their math teacher look better.
It's practice. Just
know.
make mistakes.
So, but
It's like
what
changing
you're
the
saying,
brakes on a car, right?
yeah, kind of like that, step by step.
yeah, except if you screw up changing your brakes on your car, you're probably going to die.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
There's
Doyle-
airbags.
That's kind of like
That's
the
what they're there
the,
for.
the O'Doyle family. And
Oh yeah,
Family
yeah.
medicine.
Thank you.
well, that was
Door
banana
rules.
peel.
Uh huh.
Yeah, that's why I throw banana peel.
See, I was thinking of the old Doyle
Yeah.
family from Sunny,
Philadelphia.
yeah, it's
Always Sunny- Always Sunny in
yeah,
Philadelphia.
That's the better O'Doyle family.
But what I'm gonna piggyback off you too is how constant the battle of just and keeping them engaged.
Yeah.
Like every 5 to 10 minutes, it's some kind of distraction, and that's kind of what we're gonna get into today, right? The growing number of distractions, not just like everybody has Chromebooks now. We become a one-to-one school recently, but even before one-to-one, we had a multiple number of distractions in the classroom. But the distractions now are every second, which is where your expertise comes in.
My mom's
'Cause I'm
texting
old.
me.
Your experience, like a fine wine, if you
My friend liked my
'Cause I'm
post.
old.
you know, I was gonna say like maybe like a Cabernet.
It's
Sauvignon,
okay. I'm old.
But
I get it. I
you know,
it.
you get better
I
with
get it.
age.
Old.
So we're not trying to sound like grumpy old men here, but
Well,
There's science to it.
there's data. We have stats. We have
Finally have some stats
we
coming
have
out.
data.
yay, math.
Yeah.
So
Here's where
Yeah.
it comes in.
consider this
When you use math, that's
a
stupid.
public service announcement.
Here it is.
if you will, right? So I guess the question to lead this off, we've been talking about like smartphones versus smart kids. Nick read a book called The Anxious Generation. I didn't read it because
You read a book.
I know.
I had listened to a book on tape.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Which is more than
Yeah.
you know what I stopped reading? When they stopped giving out those bookets. Remember those bookets?
Can't remember.
Well,
I'm
you
old.
read a book and you do a book report and then you get a pizza coupon.
Oh wow.
Free pizza.
I didn't like pizza that
Oh, I
much.
love pizza, so I read.
I hated air
Once they
goals.
got rid of it, I stopped reading. So bring back bookets.
I'm still not going to read
Book
with
it.
buckets.
Book it. So I missed that. In your experience, what are some trends in student engagement / culture that you've noticed throughout your career? All 29. Oh, sorry,
34.
34.
Wait, what happened?
You didn't see his
What?
No,
big-
his sign says 29 years, so it's actually 34 because
yeah,
you missed.
it's messed up.
Where's the missing 5 years?
I taught at Central for 5 years.
Oh, I don't know why I thought it was longer. Okay, that makes sense. 93, 98. Okay, I'll let it go. No, whatever. I'm bad at adding.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the
So
question.
bringing it back. What are some trends in student engagement or culture throughout your experience have you noticed?
Wow.
Like things that have been a constant battle or struggle throughout. Because obviously right now we have cell phones. But before that, what did you notice?
What I've really noticed with kids in the classroom is downtime has become phone time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and things I never have a problem with. Kiddos get done with my math, they check their math, put stuff away. Okay, cool, play on your phone. And you can literally have a classroom of X amount of students and you will not hear a peep out of them for 10, whatever amount of time is left in the period. And it's just,
It's funny because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
and then just all they're doing is scrolling through Instagram, pick your favorite, app, and just looking. But they have zero, like back in the day, kids would get done, first thing kids would do, turn to friend, hey, what are you going to do this weekend? Oh my God, are you going to go to that? Are you going to do,
Thank you.
and I just kind of cruise by like, hey.
The engagement's here instead of
oh,
here.
you're going to go, oh, you're going to go that part? Me too. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that. It's going to be so much fun. No. And you'd have these interactions with kids. Now I have to like stock up on a kid and like, hey, what'd you do? Oh, did you like that? Did you like? Oh, we should like that. Oh, come on, scroll. All right, let's like that one. Oh,
Let's double tap.
No. Keep going. Oh, did you see who would like that? Are you friends with her? Because I follow her. Did you follow her? I follow.
You follow him too?
So, I feel like a freaking stalker.
Yeah.
Because all the kid,
Yeah.
because if you don't do that, you have zero interaction with the kid. Because I have classes now where I literally, I got students who have said maybe 10 words to me the entire year. They don't ask questions anymore.
That.
Hey, if you need any help, but because the first thing is like, hey Google, how do I do math? Send, and so they don't have interactions. They don't have interactions with me, which I get because it's weird because I'm 1,000 years old and they're like 10. But they don't have interactions with each other.
They don't.
And they won't even, So when I've taken phones away, it's like so much livelier in the class, and I'm like, hooray, yay children, we're talking to each other, communication, yes.
And that's what you notice is that their interactions have changed.
Oh, it's horrible.
So I mean, I haven't
Social skills.
and you're hitting a lot of these key points that really emphasize how just technology in
Because I
itself.
cheated and I did the homework.
You did a lot of homework.
Yeah, I did.
But
He did.
he did.
did it.
Yeah.
I did.
He teaches math, so
Shut up,
you gotta do
shut up,
homework,
buddy.
right? So
wanna be
interactions
dumb.
change. But even like if you think about cell phones, if we just focus on the cell phone itself, when cell phones first came out, and you see that progression, like if you ask, you have 30 kids in your class, how many kids have a cell phone?
I know of 2 students in all of this school year that don't have a cell phone.
That's a lot.
2
They don't have the cell phone.
don't.
Are they?
But
Amish?
one has, no.
No, okay.
Thinking about it. One does churn his own butter, but he hasn't built his own barn yet. So
Oh.
he's not fully on.
He's halfway there.
No, one has access to a cell phone, but refuses to bring it to school because he said he doesn't want to get caught up in looking at his cell phone all day. And
That's
every day he gets a big fist bump, and I'm like, good job, kid.
That is
congratulations.
extremely rare.
Yes.
Wow.
But
so he's
if
in
you're
that,
watching and you know who you are, brain, you know who you are,
Yeah.
and that's badass, bro. It is.
Hey, he's not watching though. There's
I'll
only
tell
two,
him
only
what.
2 people watch.
I'll tell him what.
But
I just don't want you guys
so
to
is
lose
it safe to
followers.
say that 99% of students in high school have cell phones? I
Oh,
would even
yeah.
say closer to 99.5, right? So, but not everybody had a cell phone 10 years ago.
True.
And I started noticing, I mean, I'm not 34 years deep in the game like you are. This is the end of my 18th, but in the last 10 years, I've slowly noticed like, how many have a cell phone? Go to this website and complete this. Boom.
Yeah, now we have new surveys in class. All right, get in your cell phone, go to this, or I forget all the
And
apps, and their answers start popping up,
Yeah.
and it's just all right, we got to accommodate because all this new technology is coming out, and
But before that, I would ask them, on your Chromebook, go ahead and log into this website,
Yeah.
and everybody at the same time, like a quiz or whatever, a quiz game, and they all had to do it on their Chromebook. But now it's like, well, why don't I just use my
Yeah.
cell phone? For many, it's just quicker, more convenient, The features are a little bit different, but every kid in the classroom now has a cell phone. And so what impact has that had on education as a whole? Pros and cons.
And now we're seeing it, right?
Pros, obviously, instant information. It's like they have an
Hell yeah.
encyclopedia
It's like, hey,
on their phone.
So I don't know if you had a set of an encyclopedia, and I always tell the story with the kids that back in my day.
I had the Charlie Brown encyclopedia.
Oh really?
The set. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
It's like I remember the salesperson would come to the front door. They'd sell it to us. And finally, my mom bought one. I was like, I felt rich. And then
They sell you a vacuum too?
Yeah, we bought one of those. But we, like
Got a
23
nice-
or something volumes, and like, all right, I want to learn about George Washington. So you have to go all the way to the W's, and you pick that book out, and you flip the pages, go to the W, and you read all about it in like a paragraph or two. And it's like, all right, now it's just,
It's like
they're right there on the phone.
on their phone. What is an encyclopedia?
So that's pro. I get to look
That's
up
a pro. It's
definitions.
instant
That's
access
pro.
to information.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And that's why, like, as for a history teacher,
Huh?
there's less of a need to memorize things because why if I can just access that information? When I go to college, I'm going to have access to that information anyway. So why do I need to memorize it, right? But also, it's a great tool. It's a Swiss Army knife. It's got your GPS.
We just bought stocks this week.
we got
with Robin,
you can
Yeah.
invest in the stock market. You could camera, whatever.
Why go to the store? I got Amazon. It's just,
Uber Eats.
yeah.
Why leave the house? Why take a shower?
Why talk to people?
Why talk to people?
Why talk to people?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's like,
I
like-
got my phone.
That was a nice trip to
That's
Cabo.
so 2001, right?
Yeah.
But on the other side,
God, even the BlackBerry, remember that?
oh, the
I still
crackberry.
love that one.
The
Yeah,
crackberry. I never
yeah.
had one, but
Yeah.
I remember the crackberry.
I mean, oh my God, my phone
I
has
always
internet.
had the poor man version of it,
Uh-huh.
whatever that was. It,
Yeah.
Nokia? I had Nokia too.
yeah. It,
Yeah.
it had the little keyboard on, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh wow.
No, I didn't have a keyboard. I had just a block. It looked like a brick. It played Snake.
Oh, you're poor.
Yeah,
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It happens. But on the other side, yeah, there's a lot of.
He's a teacher in Arizona, that's why.
Ah, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
You didn't
Now
come
I'm
to
here in
good
the
side.
land of milk and honey.
That's right.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah, Rick complains, yeah.
On the other side, obviously, the cons, huge distraction. Huge distraction. It's like every 10 seconds, you'll notice pocket. Pocket.
I asked kids if they knew how to turn off notifications. And I got the look of death of like, why would I ever want to do that?
What if they like my post?
And
What if somebody
I just-
comments?
They
You
need
know.
to know what's on the Santana quotes page.
Yeah.
It's a must.
no.
No.
No, they don't.
That's what they feel though. Like I have to know.
There's
I
no
have
such
to.
thing, by the way, audience. There's no such thing.
Oh,
So like,
Anxiety levels are
Oh.
rocketing.
it's funny you say that.
What? Did someone do their homework?
Tell us about anxiety levels.
Boom!
So this is what I've been doing for a few weeks, and it's just what I found it fascinating that so around 2010 you start seeing the anxiety and depression levels start to go up, and this thing specifically says between we'll have it up here. See, bing. Between 2010 and 2020, anxiety and depression levels increased by anxiety went up by 103%. Depression went up by 109%. You're like, that's crazy because we're isolated. Maybe COVID. No, it's before COVID. The
Right.
trend was already happening, right? And so what can we attribute it to? We contributed to not only, we have social media. And that started like that. I could
Well,
keep
before
in touch
social
with
media.
long lost friend.
Before social media,
What?
you don't have social media access without what's in your pocket.
Hey,
Why'd you have to
take
ask
it
that?
easy?
Hey, I'm just curious.
Don't make
No.
it weird.
My keys?
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Oh.
And your phone, I bet.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if you remember that scene from Rocky on the
Check.
date with when Adrian
Prove
came
it.
over. Hey, I want you to. Hey, what about my brother Paulie? Can you call him? Yeah. Hey, yo, Paulie, and he
Yeah.
yelled out the window.
Yeah.
Yes, he has communication.
That's
Yelled down the block.
communication.
Hey,
But-
father!
Yeah.
Can you shut me down? Prayer or something?
What's this little Rocky? My best Italian, right?
What I always here. This is totally off topic, but side note is
That's okay.
for me is I loved how cell phones became. It went from phone, cell phone, smartphone, and now it's just phone. Right, but I mean it's like
Smartwatches.
bro, yeah, but I mean everything. It's like because not everyone had a smartphone when it came out.
No.
When it came out, some of us had the old school flip phone for a long time, and it worked. You know, it was badass. Okay, then we upgraded, and it became cell phone. And cell phone meant you could do some texting. And then cell phone became smartphone, where you can, oh, I'm on the internet. Wow.
Yeah.
And then smartphone just became phone. Well, everybody's got a phone now. Okay, so does it have to be smart anymore? It's just phone. Phone. That's it.
But it's not even just, I mean, I remember back in my day, right?
Well,
Back in my day, we would write notes to each other. And
I
my
had,
favorite
I
ones,
had a pen
remember?
pal in 6th grade.
I never
Yeah.
had that one, but remember like
funny.
the shapes, like some girls in junior high,
Oh yeah, the
the hearts. Did you ever get the heart ones?
yeah, you get
Oh,
the shoulders
man.
coming up to you. Hey, do this. I'm like, all right, baby.
Another
I
good
got
one
pick
is
a
trying-
letter.
Yeah.
they
Pick a
made
color.
heart shape, like the little
You're
Yeah,
homosexual.
I love her
red
hairline.
back brain rule.
I love
Pick
her
a number,
eyebrow line.
five.
I'm a-
1,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Punch
Favorite
you in the
food,
face.
yeah. But
Hey!
that's how, like, instead of texting, I was like, write a letter and you drop it off. And sometimes you get in trouble. Oh, are you passing notes in class?
Or you
Whatever.
do the sneaky thing where you walk by somebody and you drop it off as they're walking. I gotta sharpen my pencil. Again? Yeah.
And back then, remember when pencil sharpeners? That was, you know, a way. I'm just sharpening my pencil,
Yeah.
and you drop off a note. You know,
Yeah.
that's how you communicated,
Yeah.
right? But now, and I got a fancy little graph here that kind of correlates with what you're talking about, right? Anxiety levels increasing. The number of smartphones sold, and 2017, 2018, 2019 at its highest peak. I want to say like 1.5 billion cell phones a year in the U.S.
Smartphones are not just phones.
Yeah.
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 So you look at it, well, what's leading to this? And you kind of look at the,
So what's fun is this
you
author.
look at the math.
This author.
Right.
This
What?
author. This author really hit it on the ADHD kids. So hi, here I am.
Oh, yeah.
So just the
So,
constant.
what's your issue then? 'Cause you weren't
Okay, so I had issues before all this, but
Yes,
this
we
made
know.
it worse. And
I've watched all 30 episodes.
so it's just that constant, like the need for dopamine spike. And what I mean by dopamine is that pleasure. So when you eat a good meal, or when you do drugs, or just whatever, right? Or you get a nice
I
compliment.
understand.
Yes. Is this Noah Salzman? Yeah.
Nice, good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
So
See?
so it's like just that constant need for it. And I know, since you guys know I'm a freaking attention whore, so I start messaging people. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I tend to message a lot. Yes. I'll start messaging around,
text?
and then when somebody messages back, boom, I get that dopamine spike, right? So what this guy is hitting on, every time we touch that phone, you get that dopamine spike. We start becoming like addicted. So when he ended up putting it down, putting it to the side, you're watching a movie, and then now, because history, we show movies.
That's all we do.
Showing a movie,
Mm,
and
yeah.
these kids are constantly like going at their phones. I'm like, dude, all right, we're gonna practice something. It's called paying attention for an extended amount of time without having to touch your phone.
What do you
It's an
say?
exercise. It's an exercise, right? And it has ever since I started reading this book, it just drives me crazy. Even my daughter at home.
So
it's
you,
like, oh,
and
crap.
that comes back to addiction. And that's the other.
I'm addicted, eh?
So it's it's real. Like
Yeah.
these kids, I mean, not even kids. I could even fall into that
Yeah.
that need to just check. Okay, do I have a message? Do I have
Yeah.
an email or whatever?
I'm focused on an assignment, and all
And
of a sudden, bing! I get a message. Oh,
and
let me
then-
go over here, and it takes me like 10
So
minutes.
not
Oh,
only
what
is
was I
it a
doing?
distraction,
Ah.
it's an addiction that's having a huge impact on their learning. And the author made mention that, and he has suggestions on how to kind of deal with this, but he says if the phone is in their pocket, you've already lost them.
Yeah.
You've already lost them because they feel that vibration on their phone and the need to check it, their attention's there and not you. So constant bzz, and it's like, what? Where does that come from? Oh, it's somewhere
Yeah,
here.
some people get good at chess like that. But
Yeah.
hey,
It's my carrot.
thank
so,
you.
But the other thing I was gonna say is
love-
not only
love
the
carrots.
con, the distraction, the addiction. There's less privacy now. How
Oh.
is that? Because kids are constantly in the classroom, and I've seen it in my classroom, recording each other, what they're doing in the class. First year back from the pandemic, I noticed this sideways record, sideways and kind of like, what the hell's going on? But it was just that constant, like, this is what we're doing in the classroom. And every now it's like, hey, do a stupid challenge where you smack somebody and record it. Or do something where you go up to the teacher and record it. And that's the part I'm like, oh man, that bugs the hell out of me. Because now I feel like you're invading my privacy while I'm at work. And so that becomes an issue. And on top of that, you kind of already talked about what are these phones doing now? They're making us less social. I don't need to talk to you.
Yeah.
I'll just text you. Or if I talk to you, I'll just FaceTime you or video chat you. And there's less of a need to be in person talking, and don't leave the house.
You guys ever just walk the halls? Like every morning I get here about 7 and I just kind of walk around because I'm fat and I'm trying to be unfatter.
I love when you visit us.
Thanks. Yeah. And
that fit life.
It is so trippy to me. Like, yes, I'm listening to my music or listening to a podcast or listening to sports because that's what I do. But it's every kid glued to their phone, either sitting, glued to their phone, walking, glued to their phone. And I literally have to walk up to kids that I know and put my hand in front of their face and be like, good morning. You know, like, and they get startled because they're like, oh, human interaction. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just trips me out that the kids are that so addicted to it. But I mean, you know, it's their crack.
Yeah.
You even mentioned this about going to the gym now, about how nobody talks to each other, and you
it's
brought this
horrible.
up with me, and I'm thinking, well, I only have a few minutes, so I'm trying to get in it. So I actually use it as a shield. I'll wear a hat, and I'll have my headphones on, and I pretend like they're noise canceling, but they not always are, and I'll put my hat really low, but I'll get like tapped. Sometimes in between a freaking set, I'm like, dude, what the you know, what the hell?
That's why I don't go to school. That's why I don't go after school.
But when I was in high school, I used to go to the gym. I remember I would see him there, and then like we'd interact. We were forced. Like I remember people from the gym from my childhood. I see around. How do I know him? Oh yeah, we used to go to the Jocks and Jills back in the day because everybody used to interact. And I never thought about it at the time, but is cutting out that communication. That aspect of it.
And because of that, and our next point, smartphones / social media and the effects that it's having on people's overall mental health.
I'm in Cabo.
I mean,
right?
May is
oh my God, they're in
mental health
Cabo
awareness
and I'm
month.
not. Yeah, stuff like that.
You know what I mean? Like, I never remember hearing that there was a month dedicated to mental health, and now there is. Is it necessary? Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So one thing the guy says actually in this book is that he recommended to parents that they just send them places to take away their phone or even give them a flip phone.
Yes.
And it takes a couple of days. They were like doing withdrawals, like heroin withdrawals, and then they kind of let it go. They're forced to interact with people, and then magically they're happier. You give them the phone back, and all of a sudden. And on the side note, we were talking about when people post, "Oh, I'm here. I'm in Cabo. I'm in Hawaii. I'm here. I'm there." Here's a fun one, right? So you're like, "Oh my God, I'm not there. I'm a loser or whatever." So they actually did they surveyed a bunch of people who went on vacation, and this is off topic from this book, and they asked them while they were at their place, at their resort or wherever the hell they're at, scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you right now? And they put like 6 or 5 or maybe 7, something like that. When they're at the freaking resort on vacation.
You're on vacation.
And then when they got home, they asked them, hey, how was your trip? How was your experience? Instead of giving it a 5 or a 6 or 7, like when they're actually there, like a 9 or a 10. So the delusion kicks in once they leave the resort or what. So I got a big kick, and they had objective data to show this stuff. It was just super fascinating things. We're even under delusion, so we're posting there, and everybody thinks we're at this 9 or 10 of, oh my God, I'm so happy right now. When no, you actually ask them, and most people are at a 5, 6, or 7. They're not actually that happy, and that was I thought that was really fascinating. Not universal, but statistics, math.
Yeah, and so looking at mental illness, the statistics that he goes over shows that even pre-pandemic, this issue was already it was already increasing. 134% increase since 2010 when you're looking at anxiety. Depression, 106% increase since 2010. So you see these numbers are spiking up. ADHD, 72%, all since 2010, but all of it correlates to around 2015. And in his book, he talks about how in 2015, these what you call Gen Z, 95 to whatever it is. In 2015, they're barely entering the college ranks, right? They're freshmen, sophomores, and they're showing that these group of kids are showing that their brains are wired differently.
Yeah.
And a big part of it is because of that constant need for that dopamine, right? That dopamine fix.
My 6 second dopamine
Yeah.
spike. TikTok's like the worst.
And it's like
That's usually what they're
and
on.
what it does is that it decreases your attention span, and because you feel that need, like I need to feel good again, I need to feel good again, I need to feel good again, and so a lot of it correlates back to smartphones. Okay, because if you look at, he breaks it down. The internet comes in two waves. The second wave is the introduction of personal computers, PCs, but then eventually smartphones. And so when you see smartphones really begin to take off, what's the 2015 numbers? In 2015, they sold 1.4 billion units.
He did his homework.
1.4 billion, and then
When I was doing my homework,
Yeah.
the thing that freaked me out
Uh-huh.
was the little video of the baby that had was doing the
screen.
without a phone or
Oh
something.
yes, that withdrawals.
The kid was
It
like,
was a
"Eh."
baby in China. A baby in China. He was like visibly stressed and kind of falling asleep, and he was doing this. And it's like
No,
He was
Those-
swiping.
yeah,
No.
Like this.
He,
Yeah,
he
he's
was on
swiping.
Tinder and he was swiping right the whole
the
time.
whole time.
The whole time.
At the ripe age of 3.
Yeah.
Tinder.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was on Tinder. Yeah, baby Tinder.
yeah, baby.
Oh.
For Chinese.
Yeah.
For a Chinese kid.
Different.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
catch them
different.
early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Different, but the same.
So with cell phones, it shows that the rise in access to these apps, to smartphones and social media, you see mental health plummet. And
Well,
so
mental
how do you argue?
health will drive you mad unless you bang your head.
That helps.
And then
Then it hurts,
mental
but
health will
it'll
drive
distract you a
mad.
little bit.
But
But
so I've heard.
Yeah.
it kind of
Could be worth it.
so he then goes into talking about how parenting has changed, and he says that in the 90s something happened, and one of the things he talks about is how people started trusting each other less. And what does that lead to? Well, you can't go outside anymore
I think he alluded to
without supervision.
the amount of
Yeah.
like child molesters or kidnappings. It didn't go up. The actual statistical number didn't go up, but the reports on the news would scare the hell out of people to where
Has it-
slowly but surely
yeah.
the culture started
Well,
drifting
It's not
towards
like it was a new
Paranoia.
thing.
not
Yeah.
letting anybody wander
It wasn't a
around.
new thing, but
Uh-huh.
more reporting on it became the thing. And so he goes into how adults stop trusting other kids, adults with their kids. But if you think about how we grew up, where did we play?
Yeah.
Outside.
All the neighbors
Outside.
knew each other. My dad knew all the damn. Everybody come. I'd be walking on the street. Hey Nick, how you doing? Hey, how's your dad? Now it's like I have neighbors 2 on the side, then 2 in front of me, and all it is like a hi bye, and I'm really happy that they don't want to interact with me, and I love those neighbors. So,
So-
even my mindset has completely changed
So
from my
at
childhood.
what age did your parents trust you going out to play without their separation? Like, if you had to pinpoint like a grade level or an
No,
age.
I got 100% perfect answer for that.
Okay.
My parents divorced when I was 7.
Okay.
Went and lived with mom, and it was mom and my 3-year-old sister. And my mom had zero choice except to trust me to be at home to take care of my sister
What's your word?
while she worked. So I was 7,
Yeah.
Okay.
and
Wow.
100% trust.
Yeah.
Like, hey, keep the door locked. All right, unless it's a friend. Okay, stay home. But, if you're going to go outside, you got to take your sister with you.
Okay.
So I had to keep an eye on her all the time. So I mean, I was cooking, I was cleaning as a 7-year-old.
Dang.
So, because when I
So
was
you got to grow up kind of fast.
when I was watching the video, I'm like, like, oh. Now, flash forward to when my children are 7. Like, would I trust either one of them to take care of the 7-year-old to take care of the 3-year-old? Hell to the F, no.
Okay.
No offense, daughters. I love you both, but neither one of you could have done it.
Why is that?
That's
the-
see.
And And I think the part of the answer has to do with another thing he talks about is that there's this, you started to notice this push for safetyism, right? Like everything's safety. Don't let kids get hurt. Protect them as much. And you have often, you call them vulture parents or like, oh, be careful. But us growing up, our parents let us make mistakes. They let us get hurt because, the classic one, don't touch the pot, it's hot. What do you do? Touch it. I was like, okay.
What'd you learn?
What'd you learn? That way you learn. Ya ves? Pa que aprendas. Right? So it was one of those things where it's like, what's happened is you're taking away that risk.
Right.
Right? And oftentimes, how do you learn is by failing, by getting hurt, by taking small risks. But what that does is that, and he talks about how these risks are important for kids to be able to assess themselves and know what they're capable of, but also it allows them to gain confidence in themselves and become better problem solvers by facing these tasks, by facing these challenges, by climbing up a tree, whatever. There's always going to be a risk, but if you take away those risks, in a way, you're stunting their development from being able to learn from this process.
And that's why I suck as a parent.
No, it's a different time.
Everything that dude said in homework made me feel like crap because I was like,
It really was an eye opener. Because
don't have children. You already know about
I
this.
hear
Screwed up twice. Yeah.
Yes.
But if you think about how, let's say, your firstborn and your secondborn, how different is your parenting then from now? Is there major changes?
Yes.
What would you say that is?
Well, one talks a lot more, and the other one doesn't. Well, the autism thing. But but there really is just definitely more paranoid. I never had anxiety as a young parent in my 20s. Now my anxiety is like
Well, you didn't know what you were doing.
Well, yeah. In my mind, I thought
I
I
don't
did.
mean that in a
Yeah,
bad
no,
way.
you're
It's
absolutely
just
right. Yeah,
You're trying to figure it
you're
out.
absolutely right.
Snake eyes.
Yeah.
Crap. What do I do now? Try again.
Yeah.
But
So
it was always hit and miss with the first kid.
That's
Which
what
I
you learn.
thought, Gia, I'm sorry. I was a shitty dad. I apologize, honey.
should have taken
Please
her
don't-
away. Yeah.
Please don't keep holding it against me.
Yeah.
But there's always a lesson in there, right? There's
Right.
always a lesson.
But with number two, it's like, well, okay, this didn't work with her. I'm going to try this with you. Yay.
It doesn't mean it'll work, but
Right, but I mean-
because everybody's different, everybody has
Yeah.
a different personality.
So
but
So when people ask me about parenting advice, I always tell them, trust yourself, and you're gonna make mistakes. I've made mistakes, and you'll learn from them. That's always my parenting advice. There's no
I'm
such
1,000 times better parent
Yeah.
now that they're gone than when they were around.
But I always enjoy seeing like how my friends they parent, and everybody has their own style. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities or anything, but for the most part, the author emphasizes not to take away risks from them. Let them take small risks that eventually will lead to other risk for their development. Because essentially, what it does is that
without the cell phone
well, yeah, without cell phones, basically,
or with the flip phone.
His big push is not cell phone based play, but go outside. Play. What does he call it?
Go outside.
Play based.
Yeah.
Play based child. So you look at, we had a play based childhood because cell phones didn't work. Now it's a smartphone based childhood. Oh, you know what? Here's a tablet. And they're going to be quiet. They're going to be engaged in it, and it gets you out of their hair.
Those are
Worst
another
punishment
psychologists.
as a kid, for me, grounding. Not being able to go outside and play.
Today, what's the worst?
Worst, oh my God.
Take away my phone.
If I ever touch one of my kids' phones, or even if I touch my wife's phone, she looks at me like, what are you doing?
Are you crazy?
And I'm like, I'm just trying to update your phone. Can I have it back? I'm like, hey, I'll give it back, I swear. Just let me update.
It's funny. It drives me crazy when my wife doesn't update her phone.
Oh,
It's funny.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy.
It's that, and if you have 1,000 unread emails.
Yeah. The
Like,
same way.
just
dude.
freaking delete it.
Yeah, just
It's
delete
like to be like, hey, like I can't stand. if I have a computer screen in front of me and I can't fit all my emails on the screen, it's either I'm going to make the font smaller or I'm going to start deleting something. And like, nope. Like, I'll get back to you some other day. I don't,
email from this person? I'm
nope,
not reading that.
You're not that important anymore. Click, 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 click.
But
all the admin emails, I don't read those.
Yeah.
so
Well,
he
they're
kind
blocked.
of he kind of comes back to do not ban risky play in conflict. Let them climb the jungle gym. Let them play tackle football. Now it's like, no, it's got to be. What does he say? He said, it's got to be like
tag were insane.
The
oh
tag
my
rules,
God.
like you can't play tag unless it has to be one finger touch. Has to be adult supervision.
Dudes that jack each other up.
And then he
Yeah.
talks about
Yeah.
and it was a specific school district in like Berkeley or something. It says any disagreements you must resolve them by rock paper scissors. And then it says tag cannot be played in out of bounds areas or you have to stay outside on the yard. But when the bell rings, everybody has to freeze, right? But it's the other restrictions. Like no, like it should be like more contact, right? Like we used to play soccer. Man, did it get physical. We got like bloody noses. Like one kid broke his leg one time. He stepped wrong in the hole, whatever. But now it's like, no, like
Kids resolve their own issues for the most part.
they want to put kids in a bubble to prevent them from injuring as much as possible. And
John Travolta.
I get that, but it's like
I was the bubble boy.
it's like don't prevent them from learning by taking risk, by accepting these challenges. Because what does that do? It boosts their confidence when they can resolve these issues, figure out, how do I get to the jungle gym the highest and the quickest? I got to take this route. And it gives kids a sense of confidence, which then allows them to take further risks later. And that confidence obviously will benefit them more in the long run. But it was
Or you
crazy.
could just throw a cell phone at them and go, hey, go to town, kid.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me for
Put
the
a
next
cell phone
14
on
years.
on
of
a
your
Same
remote
drama. I don't
control
wanna talk
car.
to you.
It's like, go get it.
Yeah.
Do it that way. But it's crazy. Like, man, I understand. Like, nobody wants to see anybody hurt, but sometimes it's like, if you don't, you're not gonna learn.
And then
Obviously, it's not. You don't want to put them in life-threatening situations, but
there was also a psychologist who was kind of speaking to this, and they were saying that back in our day, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have tech, so we were sitting there, forced to sit there and be bored. Long car rides, be
man.
bored.
But what does
so
that
you're
boredom do
forced,
for you?
You're forced to get creative with
Thank
things.
you.
Thank you. Make ramps where you eat crap and you lose a tooth, or I don't know. You start coming up with songs or games in the back without having a cell phone.
I Spy.
It's just things like that, like stupid games like that. But you're forced to interact and be creative. For now, I can just ignore my family and be like,
Put
that's
on
what
a video.
That's what sucks
Put on
about
the
driving.
video.
I'm driving. I have patrons in this stupid road, right? And that's the beauty of now that if they ever implement safe
The movie's over.
self-driving cars. Now I could text while I'm driving. We could all ignore each other. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. I could ignore my family, right? But no, it's not the healthiest thing in the world. It's we should interact.
We need to bring it back to where we talk to each other.
Supposed to talk to my family.
And so
I should talk to my neighbors. Oh,
I remember during the
like them from the
pandemic, there was
distance.
such a there was this urge, like, I want to talk to people, like, I can't wait to see you. I mean, as much of a social butterfly I was before, I feel like now I'm kind of like not as social. But during the pandemic, I was like, man, I was dying to come back. I couldn't wait to come back to teach. You said it was the best year of teaching for you, right?
I think.
But if you think about like that trend of
First year back,
that first year, 2021 or whatever.
2 years ago.
When we got back and we looking at these numbers, that anxiety, depression, and all these issues, did you ever see any type of mental health issue just like in your classroom that first year we came back? We were fully masked, for that pretty much whole first year.
Kids go outside, panic attacks. Kids
Did you
crying.
ever see any of that?
There
Anxiety
was
attacks?
I caught a couple kids. It was more like it was more anxiety, and just the whole fear of freaking out, being in a classroom again, being around other people again.
Yes.
It was a little it was overwhelming for myself.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you said this before. We are basically actors on a stage, and we perform for 50 minutes every period. Hey, if you didn't enjoy the show, I hope you come back for the next show.
Yeah.
Same bad time, same bad channel, blah
Yeah.
blah blah. You know, but I can avoid people. You know, and you've done this. We've all done it. Where you're just like, hey, I don't want to deal with you kids right now, so I'm going to make you press play. I do the thing where I just kind of casually walking around the room 6,000 times, never really stopping to help anybody, but I'm like, hey, hey, okay. Oh, do you need help on that? Okay, I'll be back around.
You're gonna need some comfy shoes for that.
I do.
Yeah.
But
I hear Crocs are great. though.
Constant
these aren't
poking at
Crocs. Airwalks, man.
Okay.
I've upgraded.
Constantly poking out these fools. To stay up here, stay up here, stay up here.
But
Constantly poking at them. It's like
That was a big anxiety.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
big
Oh.
on
I've
my
talked
part,
about
kids' part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before. I would average at least 1 or 2 anxiety or panic attacks per week.
You or
And-
the kids?
No, the kids, the
Okay.
students, which made me feel like like a certain
Like,
type of
what
way.
am I doing?
Like, what am I doing to help
Yeah.
them? I feel helpless.
Yeah.
But then eventually came with the system like, hey, if you're feeling this way,
Yeah.
don't even ask me. Go outside.
Yeah.
Take your partner with you. I had a buddy system. Like, you're gonna be a buddy with this
It's not
person.
old school teaching. You can't like laugh at them in the past. You know, so that's.
But
kinda-
it's just kind of like
You can't do that.
I know. I love it.
it's frowned upon.
God, Scotty was a
Frowned
legend.
upon.
Scotty was a legend at that.
So
No wonder kids hate me.
yeah, but it was a real thing. It was truly like that first year.
Yeah. Sure.
It was a challenge. But they often would say, oh, because of the pandemic, it led to us. Like, no, it was already happening. This was increasing, and
Yeah.
basically what the pandemic did was it just
So,
lit the fuse and just blew up, right?
so something else came out of this too, and it says right here, 57% of Gen Z, that means born 1997 to 2012, said they would want to become influencers. 57% of our kids.
Yeah.
They want to be stars on the stage. And that was just mind blowing.
Why
It's not,
is that, though?
It's not a freaking astronaut. It's not, you know,
A doctor.
definitely not a teacher. That's stupid, right? Stupid
Well,
teachers.
not in California.
Oh, yeah. California, we get
Yeah.
paid.
But why
Zombies.
is that? Why?
But super interesting. Right now we
The
worship
first
people
time
like.
I ever heard a student say,
Yeah.
I want to be a YouTuber, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That was like in 2013, 2014. It's like,
Yeah.
I want to be a YouTuber.
So you think-
and this was before like YouTube was so
Yeah.
common. And
So
he was
who,
onto something.
So who are people that became famous because these new outlets exist and they're not on like primetime TV? And we talked about those. Kim Kardashian, you know,
Yeah.
the Paul brothers. One of them's getting ready to fight like Mike Tyson, and they always make jokes about the stupid videos he'd make. And while Mike Tyson was out, what each one was doing at 20 years old, Mike Tyson was becoming the heavyweight champion of the world, and Logan Paul, which I forget, I get him mixed up.
Jake.
One of them
Jake
doing some
or Logan.
stupid dances in his room. You know what I
Jake.
mean?
Yeah.
It's just a totally different thing. And then of course the roaring kitty thing of the stocks, and we'll get into that in a second. But it's just
Did you guys catch the movie on Rory King?
Yes.
On that?
He told me
Oh
about
my
it.
goodness!
I
it's
made
so
them watch
awesome.
it.
Oh,
I made them watch it.
Yeah.
So
Revolutionary.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, why is there such a,
Where's my kitty at?
why is there such a push? No, not a push, but everybody wants to be an influencer.
Because we watch. Those are the videos we watch.
And if you think
Like
about it,
all these idiots want to be podcasters.
think about kid. I know what's wrong with that. Stupid. What's wrong with you? No, anyways. But we don't make any money on this, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I know. There's never an ad.
I know.
There's never an ad.
Not yet.
Ad-free podcast.
you're welcome.
That's our push. Why do you do this podcast? Well, our
'Cause
biggest
it's
our biggest
free.
pull is ad free, baby.
2% are watching from France
Yeah.
and Spain
Viva la France!
and España.
Sí.
Anyways, yeah, dude, it's been a trip the past handful of years. Just I don't know what's your cell phone policy in your class.
You can't have it out. I'm going to do it next year. Sorry, kiddos, next year. They're going to walk into class. They're going to put their cell phone into the caddy and grab a calculator.
Yeah,
you.
I'm buying a
No toca.
Especially
No
after
toca la
this
calculadora.
research. Especially after this research.
I'm so effing
Boom.
tired of
Yeah.
this.
So thank you for bringing it up because he actually gives the suggestions. So the author of the book, he says he's got 2 adolescent children, but he says these are my most important suggestions. 1, give children far more time playing with other children. Make time, play dates, whatever. Just have them play with other kids. Take them to the park.
Imagine
Play.
You want to
Imagine
go
if-
play, Nick?
Imagine if teachers had to play with each other again. God.
I was
Some
just thinking
teachers.
about that right now.
There's some teachers I wouldn't want to play with.
I'm in.
Anyways, second, look for more ways to embed children in stable, real-world communities, not online communities.
God.
Join a club, go to the rec league, whatever. Just have them be a part of something. The third, don't give a
Participation
smartphone
awards.
as their first phone.
Participation is worse. Oh, no smartphone. Yeah, the flip
if
phone.
you're gonna give them a phone, their first phone, don't give them a smartphone. Give
Fisher
them a
Price.
flip phone.
Yeah, it's gonna be social suicide.
Yeah, give them a flip phone.
Ah, you got a flip phone.
And if you give them a smartphone, don't give them a smartphone until high school. Not that I say that, a freshman in high school is the most stable,
But
emotional.
they learn to
being there.
manage. They
I
learn to
tried-
manage.
You're-
I tried to do that.
Yeah.
What?
How did
Oh,
that go?
yeah.
Kiddo one got an iPod. You remember iPods?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and that one rode the train as long as it could until it was like, Dad, I need to call.
Here's a flip phone.
But yeah.
Number two?
Number two went straight to cell.
Yeah.
It was like,
Man,
am
why
I
is
gonna
that?
get am I gonna get an iPod too? Oh, there's a cell phone. Here you go. Love
Why?
you,
And he
bud.
says that parents often don't want their kids to miss out or feel like an outcast.
Oh yeah,
within
that
their
was
groups.
100%. I was guilted into that.
So is there's guilt?
Oh.
There's a guilt to it.
Fierce guilt.
And lastly, to delay the opening of accounts on nearly all social media platforms until at least beginning high
This
school.
guy's hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah. Not to say that 16 is a great age, but at least if you can avoid giving it, allowing them from 13, 14, 15.
Grow up without
It-
these constant dopamine spikes. Oh my God, somebody liked my post. Oh my God, somebody commented.
It
Oh my God, I
least
just
will
got
delay
DM'd.
the addiction, that distraction, and he says that it has a significant impact on the way the brain is wired. Kids today,
That-
their brain is totally different.
Yeah.
I can't.
Monitor here one. Are you gonna touch it?
I gotta touch it.
Oh my God! Can I touch it?
I want to
Oh,
touch
hey, meet with Renee and Nick.
Oh, look at that! He's got it scheduled in.
Thank you, cell
it.
phone.
Glad that paid
I
off.
would have never known that.
Glad that paid
So those
off.
are just a couple of tips,
Yeah.
suggestions. Again, this is not meant to be like grumpy old men complaining or whatever.
It's gonna sound like it.
It's a public service announcement.
You're gonna take our phones from the class, but stupid.
for their own
Actually,
The
Wilson,
more you know.
Wilson Junior High said that they banned cell phones on
That's
campus.
what I
Hell yeah. Kill-
Everybody, and that's what
kill 'em all.
that's what this guy suggests.
Yeah.
Kill 'em
Should
all.
be no cell phones on campus. Kids still get away with
There
it.
should be a
here,
kill
but-
switch.
The cell phone locker.
Yeah. Well, he says there's a cell phone lockers and this. I can't remember what it was called. I'm guessing it's kind of like the sleeves. But here's another thing. Kids are smart. They'll put a fake phone in there
Yeah.
and keep their real phone
Yeah.
in their pocket.
He talked about that.
So something to keep in mind next year.
Yeah,
Right.
thanks.
So
Appreciate
I think
that.
before we get into the best of the week, I think this is a good time to transition to.
Our appreciation, our token of
We
appreciation.
got you a little gift. Or,
It's a major
You
award.
bought me a sandwich. By the way, Viva, what's the place?
Valley Vida.
Valley Vita.
Valley Vita.
Free.
Hey,
No,
plug.
this is
Free plug for the 12 people that are watching. Good shit.
no, this is way better than
We
Valley
do
Vida.
have like a percent in India, so if you, those of you in India watching, there's a little sandwich deli shop. It's called Valley Vita.
yeah.
They do cow. Sorry.
But since it's getting late, and we figured we'd get you something.
We got
today.
you a little something.
Oh, go ahead and open it up. It's a little something.
We
something.
really,
We don't want you to. We don't want you to go home.
we want you to
Well,
feel like
it's
you're a
fine.
part of something.
Yeah. So.
I got a mug.
Oh,
You bought me a-
this
because
is way
we
better
already
than a
gave
mug.
you a mug, we got you something else.
This is
Oh.
a gas station.
It's not just
gas
any
station.
regular
Oh.
tuna salad sandwich.
Oh,
It's a gas station.
That's right. With the
salad-
bow on
tuna
it.
salad
You're
sandwich.
welcome.
you don't understand.
Wait,
I
if you-
love tuna
Oh,
sandwich.
Well,
they're
it's
the
still
best.
fresh.
I hear they're the best.
Yeah,
Only after 30 hours of non-sleeping,
that's right.
2 or 3 of these are the most delicious things on the
You
planet.
gotta get your protein.
I heard it from a friend. I heard it from a friend.
It's because he did it twice on a road trip once, and I think
I'm
everybody's
that
in shock.
Heard
friend.
it from a friend.
I'm that friend.
How can your stomach handle that stuff? It
I
just-
love tuna.
I can't. I'm all sensitive.
But it's. I mean,
Thank you.
it's got protein.
It's how much we love you.
I love protein.
So he even put a little bow on it and everything.
Yeah.
too, So we don't want you to go home.
Exactly.
We don't want you to go home hungry. So, anyways, best
Oh,
of the
yeah.
week.
Best of the
Best
week.
of the week. Ryan, what's the best thing you've seen all week?
I will say the best thing I saw all week was this has been, I have a week of hell in my life. My week of hell starts with Mexican Mother's Day, followed by
American.
And when I say hell, okay, it's with quotes because it's full of hell. Mexican Mother's Day, followed by typically my daughter's birthday, my oldest daughter's birthday. Props to Gia, shout out to you. Followed by Mother's Day, and a week later is my wife's birthday. So I get this all in 1 week.
Wow.
So basically, 2/3 of all my women are taken care of in 1 week of what I call
Sounds like you have
Hell
to
Week.
save up for me.
And the best part was I got to take my wife out. We went to the Q yesterday, and
Casino.
she
Have you been there?
you've been once or twice.
Yeah, a couple times.
She won at slots,
Oh wow.
and she never wins.
Actually, there's
Like,
part in the
It
book
was-
about
it was meant to
about
be.
that as far as dopamine spikes, comparing the slot machines to
Oh yeah.
cell phones.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was
That's a whole nother
Yeah.
addiction.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so
So-
similar.
props. Hats off to my wife. Thank you for winning.
I love
for
slots.
Once. Yeah,
Good job.
slot. Well, that was the best thing I saw all week.
All
Yeah.
right.
Please.
Go ahead, Nick.
Well, mine is
And this
so.
tuna sandwich. Sorry.
So I just seen this movie called Dumb Money, and I had actually jumped in on that AMC thing a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
And I lost a little money, but it's like a little bit.
Stock market.
It was fun. Stock market, fun. And just recently, like last Monday, he posted a thing, Roaring Kitty. I forget his real name, where he actually, we'll show a picture of him, Roaring Kitty, where he actually stood up and now he's paying attention. And I went on the page and it had a stock called FFIE, which is a crap company that I think got sued like a year ago for some kind of fraud thing. But since
It's a tech company, right?
yeah, it's some tech company. But since hedge funds were shorting that stock, you know, that people found out about it and they posted, let's buy. So it started out on a Monday at 4 cents a share. And I saw it going up, I was like, oh crap, let me buy it. I'll probably lose money. Bought it at 30 cents a share. And then it went all the way up to $3 and I
You
forgot
got me
what
in on
share.
it.
Yeah, I put in $90 initially and it went up to $1,100. And yeah, I should have just cashed out, but I was like,
Cash out!
no. If you've seen the movie, you don't
Hold.
cash out.
Yeah.
You let it ride, right? You let it
Oh,
sit.
to the moon.
So within an hour after that, I lost $800.
Oh man.
But I'm still up like $300-$400. But I'm not gonna sell in that. I want that. I want
See, when you got me in on it,
Yeah.
I got it at
$1.60. Uh huh.
and it started going up. I'm like, oh wow.
Woo!
I was like, it's real.
Party.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's,
Yeah.
it's gambling,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
You know,
Yay,
you,
dopamine.
it's you get that education aspect.
I was running around. Everybody showing. Look at.
Yeah.
I was running around
And then all of a
telling
sudden it goes,
everybody,
"Bing!"
Roaring
Like,
Kitty.
But it's
Pumped up.
It's gonna go back up. I hope. So,
It doesn't have a choice.
yeah. So
So we are called Dumb Money, and
Dumb.
that's the name of the movie. Because the general population like us, we don't know jack about it. So to the hedge funds,
We're
we are
peasants.
Wall Street. We are known as dumb money.
yeah.
So it's just the beauty of it. It's the spirit of the game. Screwing over hedge funds that are shorting businesses.
All right. Well, on another note,
What's yours?
best of the week. This morning, I got a reminder. This is actually a special episode because
Oh,
today,
that's right.
on the exact day,
Oh,
and I sent you the clip. This is our 2-year anniversary. We recorded episode 1, if you recall, Dish Latino. Episode
Yeah.
1 was recorded 2 years ago on the day.
now if you guys don't think we don't know what they're doing now,
We did-
look at our first episode.
Watch
yeah.
the first
Yeah,
episode.
we have come a long way
Oh,
from
you guys are
from-
all over the place.
from not knowing what we're doing now to you see
Hey,
us
but
2
you
years
gotta
ago.
take a risk.
Yeah, you gotta take a
from
risk,
it.
It's
yeah.
all about taking
Hey,
risks,
how many-
fool.
think about how many episodes we recorded and we didn't publish them because of all the
Look how many cell phones are pointing at us right now.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
all the way
Yeah.
from England to India to Spain. You're worldwide. You're
Now,
the- you're
have you
the-
seen these stats? We really have these
Oh,
stats.
I'll show you
Oh,
stats.
It says less than 1%,
Yeah.
and we have less than 100 listeners,
we
which
have
is
listeners
super
in
entertaining.
France, Spain, England, India.
I'm guaranteeing this one's going to be over 100.
We're blowing up.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's
Went
kind of-
viral.
You're kind of a big deal, September.
Everybody's gonna want to check their cell phones to see how we're doing.
Yeah.
that's right.
So, yeah, best thing I see now is a reminder, 2-year anniversary. Man, what have you learned in these past 2 years about this?
So
I mean,
proud. So proud.
I've learned how to fly a kite.
I've learned how to goddamn mess. That's what I've learned. Well, I guess I knew that before, but
I learned it took 2 years to get me on a fucking episode. 2 years.
We've been
We
Been
made it.
begging.
We
I
made
got
it.
a freaking cup like
Yeah.
week 1.
Yeah, we made it. We finally got you here. But hey,
2 years.
on that note, Ryan, thank you for bringing your fantastic sarcasm. I've always enjoyed
You're
it.
beautiful. We love you.
We made reference to you so many times. It's finally made you.
I only listen to hear myself being talked about on here.
Yeah.
So now that I heard myself talk, I'm never going to have to listen again.
Amen.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. Well,
Here's to another one.
Salad.
to tuna fish sandwich.
Tuna fish sandwiches. Salud.
Yeah.
To my women, te quiero mucho.
That's Spanish for.
I love you.
Leave me alone.
I love you.
See you guys next time.
Oh.